My name is Isaiah John. I am an actor. Been acting for about 9 years now. My current project is Snowfall, season 3. We're working on it right now, and it's going to be amazing. So just be on the lookout for that. And if you haven't watched it, check it out. And I'm making this "Can I Be Vulnerable" video because I just want to use myself as a vessel to share my story, and hopefully by me sharing my story, someone can, gain something from it and learn.
There it is.
My family history is crazy.
Right.
I'm like super mixed up. And so my great-great-grandfather was a senator of Tallahassee. He was a white man.
Oh, sure.
And so his house is now a museum in Tallahassee. But the thing is like he was married to a white woman, but she couldn't have kids, so he had sex with the help in the house, which is my great-great-grandmother, and that's how everything started trickling down. And so my mom, she has this hereditary bone disease, but black people really don't have it.
Oh,
and so it's like 1 minute she's walking around fine, next minute she could be in a wheelchair or using a walker. It flares up randomly, and I have that gene. And so, I get affected here and there, but it's not as bad as hers. So she was a paralegal for 28 years.
Monsters.
She worked in law,
Nice.
She worked in law. And so about 2008, even before that, she was put on this biological drug to help with the bone disease. So for 6 months it helped, like she wasn't in any pain or anything like that. And then after that 6 months, it killed her immune system. And so now she is allergic to like 50 foods. The smell of shellfish can anaphylactic. Bananas, anaphylactic. She can't eat honey, eggs, oats, cheese. Like it's so many things. And so it's like always going through that because and it was trial and error figuring all these things out.
Right.
So many hospital visits growing up and just seeing that.
Yeah.
And I remember one time I took her to the hospital. It was just 2 of us in the car. And she was going through a lot of pain, so the only thing that was helping at the time was morphine. They had to give her a little bit of morphine to help her with pain.
Right.
And one time they gave her a little bit too much. And so we were leaving the hospital, and she was telling me that she felt like her heart was just like slowing down. But yeah, so we were leaving the hospital, and so she was telling me that she felt like her heart was stopping.
Right.
And I was like, bro. At the time, I had to be like 18, 19. And so probably maybe a little bit younger than that. I don't know. I was driving or whatever. It was like late. It was like 12 o'clock in the morning. We leaving. And so I had to bust a U-turn. I'm taking red lights, like speeding, like trying to get her
knew
back.
it was like
it was life or death. And at that point I was like, bro, the cops, they gonna have to, we going on the chase.
Yeah,
I'm not stopping. Period. So it was that was a very scary situation for me. And it's like now, because I do believe she's going to be healed, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like in the time being in this process of her going through this, it's hard because it's like, man, if she goes out and she smells something, So, and people don't think it's that serious. So we've had family members
like just smelling it.
Yes, experiencing that really, really messed with me. And it's anaphylactic. Like we had family members that didn't really think it was that serious. So they'll go to like a seafood restaurant, and come hug her, hospital. And people don't think it's that serious. Like how can the smell of something like cause you to go anaphylactic?
Right.
But that's just how it is.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So,
that's wild.
Yeah. So it's just that is like a traumatic thing that I experienced, So I went through a transitional phase. And so coming from where I come from to Snowfall and reaching that success and reaching the financial gain that I've reached, it was a shock.
Right.
And so I went through my first season, I went through this point where, I was doing things that I said I would never do, And so it's just like, I had to check myself, I had to hold myself accountable, but luckily I have a close family and they were able to, have these conversations with me and bring me back to that place where I was. And it was a transitional phase. Like I had to go through that, to experience that. But it didn't last long. Okay. It was very short lived. But it's like now I'm just very humble because
Yeah.
I know there's so many people that work just as hard or even harder than me that would love to be in this position.
Yeah.
You know, so it just humbles me. And whenever I see someone out and they're a fan of the show and they want to take a picture, I never tell them
people
no,
no, right.
because it's like, why? Like it just doesn't make sense. You know?
Is it pressure? Do you feel pressure to do so, or is it just like, man, no, fuck that. I'm on a.
I don't feel pressure.
Yeah.
Because I feel like at the end of the day, this is the most I can do.
Yeah.
You know, for the people that are giving me showing love and support. You know, it's like I'm not receiving any hate. So it's like if someone's just showing me love, I like to reciprocate that and give it right back.
I like that.
You know?
Hollywood
Yeah.
obviously didn't eat you alive because you're here.
Right.
Was there at any point you felt like, this Hollywood machine is a bitch?
I mean, I feel that way about life.
Sorry.
You know, I feel that way about life. Like, depending on your outlook on life, you know, and your perception, that makes a big difference.
Right.
And so, just like life, Hollywood, it's like the same thing, you
Right.
know, because it's just, if I have a negative perception and constantly remind myself of the negativity and the negative things about it, then it's gonna fuck with me. It's gonna mess with me. You know what I'm saying?
You
So
can cuss on there.
yeah. So it's just like if I just focus on myself and just continue to hold myself accountable, I'm not getting caught up in what Hollywood has to offer, what
Right.
Hollywood got going on. That's why I'm barely on social media now. Like I barely post. I barely go to events. I know I need to for networking purposes, but at the end of the day, I feel like my sanity is more important than anything. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not really a people's person. Like, I love my craft. I love to go on set and act and do what I do. And I'm very relatable personally, but I feel like when it's like a business setting, it's just, that's where the pressure comes. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
I gotta go talk to this person. I gotta do this. If I feel like if I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? I just don't want to.
Yeah.
You know, so last year was the first time I've ever felt the feeling of depression. And so on the outside world, it's like, oh, you got this going on. You just filmed this movie for Netflix. Why are you sad?
Right.
And what people don't realize is that no matter how much money you make, no matter how many opportunities you get, if your spirit is not filled, you're going to be empty.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why a lot of people are out here in life searching. They don't know what they want out of life. They don't know what their purpose is. They don't know what they're supposed to gain out of this life.
Yeah.
Because it's not a long life. You know what I'm saying? Life
Yeah.
is short. And so it's just like if you're not constantly fulfilling that purpose or doing something that feeds your soul, you're going to be empty looking for it in someone else, in something else, a substance, materialistic things, and so many things that are fickle.
Yeah.
You know, nothing with a foundation. So I felt that last year. I experienced that last year. The things that I wanted, and it had nothing to do with career. The
Right.
things that I wanted at that moment, I wasn't receiving. And so because I felt like nothing was going the way that I felt should go, and I was more so thinking about I, instead of God, like what is it that you want me to do? What do you want me to gain?
Right.
I allowed myself to feel depressed because nothing. I totaled my car. I was trying to move out of my parents' house, but that didn't happen. I had certain situations with certain family members, and it was just like, why? Why is this all happening? Why now?
Right.
You know, and instead of me sitting back and like, let me evaluate the whole situation for what it is, and try to figure out what am I supposed to learn out of this. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I'm supposed to learn something, not feel like a victim.
Like a victim, yeah.
You know, so I feel like everything in life that we go through, you just have to learn. You have to learn. Because if you don't learn, you're going to be angry. You know, you're going to be angry because you're not going to understand. And not everything, you're not going to understand everything you ever go through. And that's the sad part. And that's a hard pill to swallow. But it is.
It is.
Don't allow your current situation to define you or to make you feel like you're less than. Because you're not. Not only should you believe in yourself, but believe that no matter what your current situation is, God has a bigger plan. There's always a bigger picture that's in play. And don't just get small-minded by your current situation because it's not permanent. But you have to change your mindset. You have to align your spirit. And you have to continue to push forward. Life is going to throw a lot of things at you, but you got to get back up and keep pushing because this life is short. So just keep it pushing.